Please join me in welcoming Mr. Amit Kumar and give a big round of applause for him.
How many of you wants to become an entrepreneur? How many of you? One. You guys don't want? You don't want to be? You want a job? Okay. How many wants to do a job in large companies? Okay, here, everyone. Here. How many wants to do a job in big companies? Okay, great. Can anybody tell me what is the difference between both of them? Yes, you were saying something. Go ahead.
Sir, creating a job and running the vendor job.
So the folks who, yeah, go ahead.
Can you provide this to students so that they can see clearly?
You don't have an idea about you will get paid or not. If you will be consistent about your idea and you will pitch to the clients, you will this opportunity in your idea.
Yeah.
They think that market has a value.
Got it.
What do you in the future?
Got it. So his thought was more related to the revenues, and his thoughts was creating a jobs. I think in my view it's both are same. And let me tell you, if you are working in a very large company and in a role, and if you build that role in such a way that you are running that role, let me take my examples, or let's say anybody else examples in this. So if you are a, let's say, solution architect for a company, or you're doing a job for a solution architect, and you have a bunch of customers, you're actually acting as a CTO of a company. You decide what needs to be the technology of that company, what needs to be the architecture of that company, how the business is going to be run on that technology. Can anybody tell me which is the business which doesn't run on technology? Anybody? What is that business which doesn't run on technology or doesn't require any technology? Is there a business? What is that? Somebody say yes. You said yes. Farming business doesn't run on technology. I seriously disagree with you. Then anybody else? And I'll explain that how it is not. Anybody else? Which business doesn't run on technology? I'm sorry? Hand weaving. Okay.
Skill vendors.
Skill vendors.
Skill vendors.
Example? Shop on the streets. Okay, I'll come to that as well. Okay, let's pick the farming one. Imagine that you are a farmer and then you already know that when the rain is going to come so that you can harvest well. Isn't it technology? So that you can produce well. Imagine that if you really want to get a sample of your land or sample of your field and then get tested and then systems are telling you that which harvest that you have to do so that you can produce more. Or it can also predict that if you're going to do it this way, it will give you those kind of a production for you. So that's the technology which is already coming. And I've seen lots of technology where they're using the drones in their in their farms. So there's lots of technology options out there, and I must say this is the space where really we should think how we can leverage the technology and then make more farmers more capable, more productions, and more the strong the farmer community that can be. Everybody eat chapati every night, right? From where it is coming? So if every single person on this earth, in this universe, is having something which is actually coming from those farms, actually that's where we need to revolve those technology around, at least very, very fast and very, very innovatively. So I would recommend you are the sharpest mind in the world today. I would recommend you start thinking around what is important in the farming space also in terms of technology. I'll be here for offline for a couple of minutes. Please reach out to me if you really wants to go build some ideas around farming space. There was another one who was saying that's the technology was not there. Which was that? You said weaving, hand weaving. I'm sorry? Street vendors. That's very known things. Like every street vendor, at least in India today, have a Paytm, or I don't want to do some kind of promotions here, but everybody has some kind of an UPI transaction systems available, right? I'm sorry? Many of them, but most of them are on the UPI systems already. But think of that, if you can make that technology so easy to grab, that is all possible for all those street vendors as well. So you can imagine that if the street vendor is able to collect a phone, and that phone is telling them through a generative AI or throughout the machine learning model, and say, hey, if you're gonna go to India Gate today for a Golgappa, and because now the probability of having a tourist on India Gate is so high, and if the Golgappa guy can go there or a Panipuri guy can go there and then sell their Panipuri over there, it would be a much better situation that he is probably struggling on. So my point here, I want to make it from last 10 minutes or last 5 minutes, is that technology is everywhere. Now we need to choose that how we can make that technology almost easy for any human being, and then AI and generative AI and machine learning is actually making so easy for at least the people who wants to build those technology for the end users, which is where the technology was not possible 5 years or 10 years back. Now coming back to the startups, the entrepreneurships, the point I want to make it that job or entrepreneurships or your own company or your own startup is no difference. You need a technology. And how the technology you can grab it today, I remember my 10 years back story or a 15 years back story when my CTO says that, hey Amit, I want to build an application which is doing the technology of doing a stamping, or it was a digital stamping area when it came 16 years back. And then I said, hey look, I need 3 weeks, 4 weeks into this, because I need to buy a server, I need to buy a storage, I need to put that into a data center, and I need to grab all those applications into this, install it, and then only I will be able to give you for an application installation. Versus today, if the same CTO, the same application is going to ask me, I would say I just need 3 seconds. The 3 weeks to 3 seconds. That's how the technology is changing. How it is possible today? Because of the clouds, because of the ability to have a cloud vendors. The cloud companies are coming so fast, so away from the legacy systems that we used to have it. Today, if you really want to learn, let me also tell you another story. If you really want to, 3 years back, build a machine learning models and get something out of it, like some use case out of it, how much time usually you're gonna take? 3 years back, it was actually somewhere around 6 to 7 weeks to train your model and get the better output of it. Today, it's possible in minutes. You can have already large language models running at the back. You just need to build your application, or even don't build the application, use it, all those cloud providers, ability to just send an API commands back to that, and you would be able to get your use cases done within minutes. So the times are, so the important point I want to make from my session is that the window of innovation is getting shorter. Let me repeat this. The time window that you have for doing an innovation is getting shorter. What that means is that your startup or the entrepreneurship or the job or whatever you are going to do, you have to innovate fast. And you can innovate fast only when that you have a better technology and you know how to use it. There is also a challenge here. It's not easy that, if the cloud companies are providing something and then you are able to get it and you are done. No, that's not so easy. You gotta know there's tons of services are available. If you ask me how much is the AWS is having the portfolio of those AI and ML services, more than 20. But which one you should use? That's the question. And how are you gonna learn it? How are you gonna learn it? Anybody want to say something? How are you gonna learn it? That what needs to be used. If I'm gonna give you a use case, how are you gonna decide which models will work better? There's a tons of model available these days. I never seen in the technology world in my 20 years of experience that the technology is evolving so fast that so many services are evolving and getting innovative almost every day. Today, how many models roughly available? The large language models available in market? Rough idea? How many? Number? Anybody? How many models? I thought that you are really great guys, like you know everything on the tips. You are disappointing me. Yes?
Mainly there are 5
5 to 10? I'm talking about models, not the company who build the models. Let me repeat my questions. How many models do they have to solve a problem? Hundreds. Anybody? There's thousands of models available. Thousands. More than a car variant which comes globally. And every car has own features. Similarly, every model has their own features. How you can choose it? Which model you should use for your use case to do the better? I think this is a serious topic. And this is the way that you can also start learning those machine learning models, how they behave. Couple of things I want to give it. I know this cannot be done in 15 minutes, but I can easily say this. 3 things. When to choose, how to choose, and where to choose. I will start from the back, where to choose. Where to choose means where your workloads are mostly sitting. That's the easiest way to select where to choose. If you are already in AWS or already in the cloud, then start from there only. Because the more closer your data, the more fine your data, the more better your output would be. The second is how. The how part is something which it will take time you to learn, but the easiest way to understand is that identify which model is best for what. One t-shirt size doesn't fit all. This is a statement coming from Long, but that actually matters in case of the model selections. So build an algorithm which is an easy way of doing it, and some cloud providers like AWS also provide that model evaluations. So use that model evaluation for your use case, identify some accuracies, the parameters that you want to do, and of course the output also, and then you can decide which model to choose. Do not invest a very large amount of your money and time just on one model. At least take 3 models which can solve your problem, try to run some tests and do the model evaluation, and when you are satisfied, then only spend your time and materials and money on that particular use case to that particular model. The last one is the when to start, when to choose it. And this is often question comes in many of these kind of events that, hey look Amit, I have use cases and I'm also doing lots of mentorships, the people like you in various universities. They always ask Amit, I have a use case, or can you suggest me a use case where I can start working on? I have a very simple answer to them, and the same answer goes to you as well. Simple. You go out in the world, identify a human real problems. You go to bank, identify a problem that you have to write a form over there. Still there are some banks do this, right? You have to write a form over there. That's a problem. Why don't you solve it through the AI? Why don't you solve through the generative AI? You just say it in front of the laptop or probably a tab and just say, fill my form with these information. It should automatically get filled. That's a use case. Go for it and build it. And today you can imagine more than very large bank. We have 4+ banks, very large banks who are ready to adopt this solution. Build it. You go out in the world, go on the road and identify a problem. Lots of traffic are there. Red lights are there. People are changing lanes here and there. People are violating traffic rules. Why don't you build a helmet who can capture the image and then send this? Somebody has built it, I think, in Bangalore. The same use case, you can build it. My suggestion would be, in last 10 seconds would be, hey look, go ahead and build it. The only thing you can get started, make yourself as a builder. The days are no more where people say, I have a marketing job, I have a, accounting jobs, I have this, I have that. The jobs are going to be consolidated in just one, the builder. So start making your mindset as a builder mindset. You should start building things. And building is not really a very tough job these days. If you have an idea, how many minutes you can build an app? I saw some people were using some Claude over there. How much time you really need to build an app if you have an idea? 10 seconds, 15 seconds, maybe 20 seconds. The only thing is putting you behind is your mind. So start thinking from that perspective that you are a builder and you want to build something. With that note, thank you so much for hearing me out. I really love to talk to you.